Welcome back to Module 3.1. In this lecture video, let's take a look at how to round decimal numbers. So the rule of rounding decimal numbers is basically the same as rounding whole numbers, except here, the rounding rules, there's one extra little thing we got to keep in mind. Zeros to the right of the place of accuracy that are also to the right of a decimal number must be dropped. In this way, the place of accuracy is clearly understood. If a rounded number has a zero in a desired place, then that zero remains. Okay? So basically, you got to tell the reader, if you say round to the nearest thousandth place, and if the thousandth place is a zero, you still have to write the zero down, because if you don't, then it look like you only round to the nearest hundredth. So whatever place we need to round to, you got to have a digit, okay, in that place value. So real quick, for example, if I run into it, I would explain a little bit further. So round the decimal number to the nearest hundredth. All right, so let's find our hundredth place. Okay, based on our chart here, hundredth place is the second place behind the decimal. So that will be this 9 right here. The second 9 is what I want to round to. So the digit to the right is 8. That made my 9 go up. So when this 9 goes up into a tens, then the following 9 will also go up into a tens. Therefore, the 3 will become 4 now. But I cannot just write the answer as 4 because I need to round to the nearest hundredth. So my 10th place becomes 0 because I'm moving it up. And my 100th place will also be 0 because the 8 made my 9 go up. So I have to write 4.00 to indicating I'm actually rounding it to the nearest hundredth place. So if you simply just write the answer as 4, that actually is incorrect because you're not telling the reader this answer should be rounded to the nearest hundredth. This 4 look like the answer is rounded to the nearest whole number or nearest ones position. Okay, so make sure if the place value you want to round, it ends up to be a 0, you still got to write the 0 down. All right. And by the way, just so you know, if I have a decimal number is 0.39, like the example I have on the previous video, what was that? 0.39. I always write 0 point. Okay, some students like to write 0.39, which is fine. I always put a 0. If there's no other number than 0 in front of decimal, I always put a 0 there, just so you can see that's a 0 point. Okay, so that's just my habit. I always put 0 in front of my decimal if there's no other digits. All right, if you don't want to write, if you want to just write 0.39, that will be fine. All right, you just got to be careful when you enter just a decimal first, then a numerical number where there's no 0 in front. Sometimes the computer might not like it when you enter it for the homework. Just watch out for that. All right, round the decimal number to the nearest thousandth. So the thousands, so let's count them. The first digit behind the decimal is 10, 10, 100,000. So this first 9 is what I want to round to. So the digit to the right is 9, which is higher than 5, make my 9 go up into a 10. So that 10 is going to make my 5 go up to become a 6. The 5 in front of that remains. Decimal still there. In front of it, I still got my 10. So my answer, 10.560. I got to write the 0 because this 0 is the thousandth place I'm trying to round to. So I got to write a digit there. All right, round to the nearest 10,000. So let's check. Behind the decimal is tenth. 100,000, then 10,000 is the 6. So the digit to the right is a 2, which is less than 5. That will make my 6 stay the same. So the 7 will still be 7. The 3 in front of that still the same. A in front of that is the same. Decimal in front of it, still the same. So my answer is 3.8376. All right. So it's just a quick lecture video on how to round decimal numbers. Just remember, if a rounded number has a 0 in the desired place of accuracy, then that 0 got to remain in that place. You got to write it. All right. That will conclude this lecture video. Thank you for watching.